and clean out your body. It's like a
So
cleansing.
good. I have to call you right back because
I
I'm in
even
the middle
smelled
of
some of
doing this
the
thing
frog
for
medicine,
display day.
and I felt it burn in the tip of my nose.
All right, bro. All right.
Supposedly it's like
Peace.
self-activating to the point where you vomit. People have vomited disorders. The brother was talking about people vomiting up cancers and syphilis. Brother said somebody had an issue with erectile dysfunction. Sister was struggling trying to get pregnant. All of these medicines were able to manifest solutions for them. Powerful.
Yeah, I had one sister too that took the frog medicine. It's called combo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this sister got ran over by this racist ass taxi driver. He hit her on purpose, and she got dragged a couple of feet. She had to move her head real quick because if she did, she would have been dead today. And yeah. Oh yeah.
So I trust them with them.
Yeah, that's my sister.
It feels so good to be learning
Thank you,
about the
sister.
sacred
Talk to you later.
medicine.
Yeah.
Thanks, God.
Yeah. So this sister, she couldn't walk. She had to learn to walk again. They had to give her a skid graft all over her body and stuff. And because of that, she had paid from that whole situation in her foot for about almost 7 years. She took the combo, right? And the combo frog took away her pain. Not only did it take away pain in her foot, she threw up because you have to look at your throw up.
Okay.
There's a science to throw up.
Right.
So she's been asthmatic her whole life. So since she was a little girl, all that medicine she was taking all those years of the asthma came out. She could taste it coming out of her as she was going through the process.
Wow.
So it's amazing. Combo was discovered. Some tribes say it was each tribe in South America tried to claim that they were the one discovered it, but the story goes that it was a shaman named Cabo, and his whole village was sick, and all his traditional methods of using different herbs and everything was helping his people. So he consulted with Mama Ayahuasca, another great medicine that I use too. And Mama Ayahuasca, she came to her and gave her a vision and said, "You need to use this frog. This frog is going to help heal your community." So that's how the couple frog came about.
Wow.
And the warriors traditionally used the combo as well, the warriors in the jungle, because it would allow them to be invisible in the jungle because they would not have the human scent on them, all right? Their human scent would be cloaked for so many hours or days because of the combo, all right? And also you're bringing into your auric field with the frog as a level of fearlessness, because you have to understand the combo of the frog, the jungle monkey frog, that's the name of the frog, is it has no enemies in the jungle. No animals fuck with it because it's like who wasn't eat this and die, you know what I mean? Right. So when you bring the combo into you have a new sense of fearlessness that comes over you. You know what I mean? I could say for a fact that the only animal that sometimes messes with it is that occasionally you might see a snake that just shows you how deep the Most High is, right? Because the snake might be sick, so it might just go gobble it for a second, spit it out to get whatever it needs to do to clean it out. You know what I mean? So it's an amazing medicine. I noticed that when I take it, that there's a level of clarity. I feel that there's no racing thoughts, everything is zenned out. You know what I mean? It deals with addictions as well. So combo can use in our hood if we're dealing with addiction. There was one sister that I worked with. She's a coffee drinker. She loves her Dunkin' Donuts. After she got her treatment, she noticed that the next day she didn't want no coffee. Mm-hmm. Also, she noticed that she loved to smoke a lot of weed. She noticed her weed intake was lowered with the combo as well. So you could use the combo on different meridian points. Like for people who have addiction, I use it on the ear at this point called the Ming. I think it's called the Ming something point. but it's right in this part right here that definitely deals with addiction.
Right.
So I was dealing with one of my brothers.
And work it like that.
Face it, whatever you need.
Okay. Okay, how you put it like that?
Side,
Turn it
usually
sideways.
goes sideways.
Okay.
The case too.
Get you talking about you ain't got no computer skills.
Hey,
You figuring it out, ain't
Not
you?
came like that.
You figuring it out.
All right.
You gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
It's that thinking mind, man. You'll figure out a way.
Okay.
They'll figure a way. Yeah, that's indeed.
Give you some more tissue, man.
Yeah.
Need trash can too.
All right. Front. Now we got.
Baby, I ain't gonna have to like to take it up.
Are you ready?
Whenever I, yeah.
Well, once you move the computer, then I'll be able to plug into the wall.
Okay, you're right. Okay, good.
You got no juice?
I hope so. Yeah.
You are the only participant in the conference.
I can change it. Yeah, when you go to share, it goes on.
Salud.
See.
So
So can't be doing it.
I know, right? Alim feeling the experience with you, bro.
Right?
I feel you.
Right? I'm over here feeling it too. Good day.
I know when I smelled that frog medicine, I felt it in the inside of my nose. You could feel it. Science they do not want us to know about.
Too bad.
I have a highly, my
Very
nose is very
sensitive?
sensitive.
Okay.
Like I can smell weed like about 4 blocks down the street if they're lighting up. That's
I know what you mean. Like our teacher, he crossed over like 2 years. For 2 years, I still would smell him. I know what you mean. Smell. I'm like, what am I smelling to other dimensions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that happens.
I have this, yeah.
Yeah,
You could be in
lucid
tune, baby.
dreams. And I had a dream that I had sex with my girlfriend.
Okay.
And when I woke up, I could still smell her in 45 minutes to an hour after I woke up.
Mm-hmm. I haven't even psychic. They tell me what's going to happen for 1 day, 2 days. Yeah. That's good to know each other's gifts because, you know, as a community, we can protect. You know?
Take ourselves.
Yeah.
We're telling baby. Right now, he's out of it.
Huh? No. Yeah, usually people don't throw alcohol.
Not that one. It was a San Pedro, I think.
No,
the frog medicine.
Yeah. That way just gets some mucus out of you. So definitely later so anybody else wants to.
That's the truth.
I want one. I'm gonna help y'all.
Shake it on the shake. You can shake the shake. You got one? Yeah. Oh, whenever they okay. Let me put this out.
Thank you so much, Brother Julie. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Yes, you can still be a shaman in the urban area.
Right.
Those looking, our life will probably be.
That's truth.
Right. Downhill, join me and welcome to Dr. Alim, all the way from North Carolina.
I appreciate everyone, I should say. I guess happy Father's Day for the fathers and the mothers. I was raised by my mom, you know. Happy solar summer solstice. All right, and also happy Juneteenth weekend. All right, all of this is happening at this same time. All right. Basically, I want to go into, I have my books here on the table, First World Order, and the book in which that my wife and I wrote called The Occult Powers of Psalms, The Art of New Burning, and the Healing Aromas of Incense. Also on the table is some important information in which that we can help you do, which is the blood test kits. If you don't know your blood type, it's very important to know so, especially in this day and time. We have charts over here in which that deals with the foods in which that you should eat on a daily basis, in which that is actually beneficial for you. So these foods would be medicine for you, as compared to foods in which that you would avoid or which that can be harmful to you. All right, especially if they're eaten every day on a daily basis. So we want to give you that information. Also, we have a video that's coming out soon. The goddess Kadera El-Bey will be on there. The goddess Floorburn will be on there. Myself will be on there. Brother Panic, Baba Phil Valentine, Baba Azariah Azazil Ben Bey, Dr. Edward Bruce Bynum, Dr. Timothy Owen Moore, and also the editor, who is Sifu Elohi El-Bey. He would be also on this call, Exploring Human Consciousness Through the Science of Breath. This will be a documentary, very similar to, I guess you can say, Hidden Colors, but it would be a very powerful documentary in which that will definitely go into a lot of arenas, a lot of areas. All right. This quote is by Buck Miser Fuller, physicist. He says, "You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete." All right. So the first step in liquidating a people is to erase its memory, destroy its books, its culture, its history. Then have someone write new books, manufacture a new culture, invent a new history. Before long, the nation will begin to forget what it is and what it was. And this is actually from the book called The Book of Laughter and Forgetting by Mylan Cadero. All right. And to state those two quotes, we go into the presentation. The first part, I'll be dealing with black energy, dark matter, melanin. This is what's called triple stage darkness. All right. If you read in the Holy Quran, it speaks about triple stage darkness. That is the actual triple stage darkness. It's called black energy, dark matter, and melanin. All right. So you have these stages already within you, coming from out of the womb of the mother, in which that you have three trimesters, right? So you have the first 3 months, the second 3 months, and the third 3 months. 3 times 3 is 9. So 9-month cycle. So each of the 3 months symbolizes actually the formation of you, of black energy, dark matter, and melanin coming from out the womb. All right, a good book in order to verify this is called Dark Light Consciousness by Dr. Edward Bruce Bynum. Melanin, Serpent, Power, and the Luminous Matrix of Reality. And this is what he says. He says the living inconnected web of life on Earth, or Gaia, is real. Almost forgotten in recent centuries, in the external reoccurrence, it is now reemerging. Gaia unfolds the Earth and also extends into the vast darkness of interstellar space, where visible light is but 7% of the luminous matter, and the other 93% is unseen. All right. So this is the unseen portion which that we're talking about, is the black energy, the dark matter, the melanin. All right. The melanin, actually what we would call, melanin is the spiritual counterpart. All right. Or melanin is the physical counterpart to the spiritual soul. This is what we say. Once again, melanin is the physical counterpart to the spiritual soul. All right. So this unseen reality is apparently composed of a mysterious darkness that, together with space-fold and gravity, surrounds our galaxy and holds the constellation together. The stellar darkness causes us in this dynamic. We will also suggest why this dark matter may, in some sense, interact with consciousness itself. So this dark matter, this black energy, dark matter and melanin, is actually consciousness itself. Not just interacting with it, but it is consciousness. All right. So this is why melanin is the most important substance that they have discovered. All right. This is why they're making glasses out of melanin. They have melatonin pills. They have melanin on the nose of the space shuttle as it re-enters back into the Earth atmosphere. They are doing all these types of things. This is quite amazing what they're trying to do with melanin. At the same time, kill off the melanated people. All right. Right here is basically talks about the breakdown. So we got 70% dark energy, about 26% dark matter, and then we got about 4% everything else, including the stars, the planets, the moons, and us. All right, in which that makes up what we call the whole universe totality. All right. Now, in here, we have to think what we call the dead stars, because without them, we wouldn't be here. All right. The calcium in your bones, the oxygen that you breathe, and the iron in your blood was all cooked up in stars that died billions of years ago. All right. That died billions of years ago. All right. So we have to look at also. All right. And then we know that's what the universe is composed of, basically. And then you have to look at, I guess you would say the occult science, because when we speak about the triple stage darkness, you know that from the Quranic aspect. But when you go into the Kabbalistic aspects, you have Ein Sof, and Ein Sofi That is triple stage darkness from the Kabbalistic teachings. All right. These are called the three veils of negative existence. The three veils of negative existence. All right. And you in your mother's womb, that was three veils of negative existence. Ein Sof, and Ein Sofer. All right. Interestingly, when the first chapter that you open into the Holy Quran is called Al-Fatiha, each of the stanzas, the 7 stanzas, all right, or verses, each one ends with the Ain sound. Now, it's called Al-Fatiha. The word Al-Fatiha within Arabic means the opening. All right, it comes from the ancient Kemetic word, Ta, or Ptah. All right, Ptah was the ancient Egyptian Kemetic deity or god. He was the god of the gods. All right, and his name means the opener. And this is the first chapter in the Holy Quran. It's called Al-Fatiha. Fatah is Ptah. All right. This is why Prophet Muhammad named his daughter allegedly after Fatima. All right. Once again, the opening, the opener. All right. This is why when you read the Quran, you wash your hands. You have to do wudu, as they call it, not voodoo, wudu. All right. And you have to cleanse yourself before you even touch the Quran. And the first chapter or the first verse or the first surah and the first ayat that you open up to is Al-Fatiha. All right. So this is no coincidence that each of those stanzas, each of those verses ends with the Ain sound. All right. Anyone knows this? Y'all know it? Okay. Well, A'udhu billahi minash shaitan al-rajim. All right. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim. Ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amen. 7 verses. And each one ends with the Ain sound, showing you that those verses are intended to take you back into what? the triple stage darkness, back into the three veils of negative existence. The three veils of negative existence is what exists above Kether, which is your crown of your head. Ein Sof Ein Sof, and Ein symbolizes your higher body, your higher self. So this is to take you back to your Lord and personal Savior, back to your Allah, back to your God. All right, this is what this is intended. All right. So understanding that, we know that we have the seven worlds. This is what on the night of Miraj, we had Prophet Muhammad on the night of Miraj to be taken up by a beast, and it was called the Buruk, which is an animal in which they took him up into the seven heavens. When he reached the place where Allah was, all right, which is the highest heaven, Michael was there. Michael was told or instructed by Allah to leave, and Muhammad would stay. And this is where you find, I guess you say, the 5 prayers come into existence. Of course, allegedly, these prayers started out as 100 times a day. And Muhammad was like, no, they ain't gonna do that. Ain't gonna be able to do that. I can tell you that. How about 50? Oh, no, you might want to go a little bit lower. How about 10? Are you getting there? All right, 5. I think you get it. So allegedly, this is how the prayers, all right, you can read this in the Quran talks about it, England, but you can find this in what they refer to as the Hadith, all right, for that story. Now, this is talking about the 7 worlds, all right, and when you break down the 7 worlds, you can find this in the Rosicrucian information, all right. You have the physical world, which is broken down into the chemical region and the etheric region. So you have the first region, which is solid, liquid, and gas, in which that's all we was told about. 1, 2, 3, ABC. That then, but really above that, you have the region of chemical ether, life ether, light ether, and reflected ether. Those are the 7 regions within the physical world. Then above that, you have the desired world. All right. You have passions and lower desires, which is repulsion, impressionability, wishes. All of that is part of the repulsion. Then you have feelings, which is interest and indifference. Then you have the attraction, which is light, life, light, and power. In particular, soul life, soul light, and soul power. All right. Remember, James Brown always talked about soul power. All right. That actually is part of the desired world. Greetings. All right. And then you have the world of thought. All right. Which is talking about the mind, in which that breaks down into the archetypal form, the archetype of universal vitality, the archetype of desire and emotions. You have the mirror itself into matter, which is the spirit mirrors itself into matter. And then, of course, you have the archetype forces and the human mind. All right, really, that's what that is. And which is now we're into the world, that's the world of thought. Above that, you have the human spirit. Right, so you have mind, and then above that, the human spirit, which is all part of the world of thought. All right, and part of that human spirit, you have the spirit in man, you have life in plants, animal in man, you have the mineral in plants, animal in man. All right, this is what gives begin to start giving the form of that human spirit. All right. And then above that, you have the world of life spirit. All right. This is dealing with the 4th of the 7 worlds. Consists of the 7 regions and is the abode of the 2nd aspect of the threefold spirit in man, which is called life spirit. Above that, you have the world of divine spirit. all right, which is the highest spiritual influence in man. All right. Then you have the world of virgin spirits, which is the vehicle of man, in which that speaks of the seven abode of the what is called the seven regions and the abode of the virgin spirits, where they have many differentiating in gods before the pilgrimage through matter. All right. And then you have consistent of the seven region, which is God, or what we call Allah, or we call Manito. We can call many names. We go. Well, these are these type of worlds exactly. So this is the world of God. All right. So these are the seven worlds here. All right. So when we break that down, we find that in the Quran, it speaks of the seven heavens, all right? Also of the seven hells, all right? So in Judaism, it speaks of the seven heavens, all right? So not just within Islam, but within Judaism also, all right? As a matter of fact, within Judaism, these seven worlds basically would be what called in Hebrew verses made in the seven heavens, which is called Shamayim. All right, Shamayim. All right, which means the light of the heavens, the light of the heavens. Greetings. All right, you have Pylon, which is 1, Rakia 2, Shimhakim 3. Zebul 4, Mayon 5, Mashon 6, and Araba, which is 7. This is the seventh heaven. This is where the seraphims dwell, and the Hayat and the throne of the Lord is located at. This is what we're talking about here. All right. Within Islam, they speaks of these 7. All right. I won't get into per se what those are, but you'll find that the first heaven described as being made of water, the home of Adam and Eve, all right, as well as angels of each star. You have the second heaven, which is described as being made of white pearls, the home of John the Baptist and Jesus. You have the third heaven that's described as being made of iron, Joseph and the angel of death, Azrael. Or Azrael. All right. And we also have the fourth heaven that's being described as being made of brass. All right. Idris, which is Enoch, and the angel of tears. So this is the dwelling place of Metatron. All right. As we continue on, the fifth heaven is described as being made of silver, Aaron, the avenging angel. All right. And then we have the fifth world, the sixth world being made of composed gold, Moses, and the seventh world, which is spoken about as Abraham. All right. And the dwelling place and God's creature and heavenly knowledge. All right. We even have these same worlds being found within the Sanskrit teachings. All right, the Satya Loka is the highest, the Tapa Loka, the Jnana Loka, the Mahara Loka, the Sava Loka, the Burva Loka, and the Bu Loka. All right, now within all of that, within English, it breaks down to what we refer to as the earth side or atmosphere, which is made up of the 7 levels or layers. All right. So of course we have the troposphere, which is the lowest realm. This is the realm that we dwell on right now. You have the ozone sphere, you have the stratosphere, you have the mesosphere, you have the thermosphere, you have the ionosphere, and you have the, which is also broken down as the magnetosphere. which extends 30 to 250 miles up or 50 to 400 kilometers. Then you have the ectosphere, which is the Van Allen belt, all right, which they can't get outside of. So this is somewhat of some untruths in which that's been told, you know, but that's another story. I get to that in
They have not been to the moon.
right. At least not not in what they told us. They have not what they've told us. All right. So you have your 7 layers also. You have your physical body, you have your etheric body, you have your emotional body, your mental body, your cultural body, your spiritual body, and your soul body. These are the 7 bodies that you have right here and right now. It's broken down into 3 aspects of your auric field. You have your outer auric field, your health auric field, and then your inner auric field, which is about 2 to 6 inches above your physical body. All right. So some things that we have to understand, because everything we have right now begins with nothing but a thought, an idea in our minds. All right. So when we understand that, we go straight to the Bible. Proverbs 4:23. Be careful for how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. By your thoughts. All right. So the science is think into existence, speak it into existence, write it into existence, and work it into existence. All right. Now, what we do know is that if you hold a thought for just 17 seconds, the law of attraction kicks in. Once again, if you hold a thought for just 17 seconds in your mind, the law of attraction kicks in. If you hold a thought for 68 seconds, and things manifestation has begun. All right. This is Abraham Hicks. All right. This is what he said. Once again, hold a thought for 68 seconds and things begin to move, begin to start manifesting in your life. All right. So we now know that sound can be actually heightened to break the light barrier. Right. John Cartwright. All right. On January the 12th, 2007, I got flack on reading this article, but I'm like, I didn't write the article. I simply can read. Nothing can travel faster than light except sound. Well, hold up. Because when I was a 5%er, we was told that light travels 1,120 feet per second. Light travels 186,000 miles per second. And thought travels 24 billion miles per second. Now, how can sound, which only travels at 1,120 feet per second, all of a sudden can now jump to being faster than even light, which travels at 186,000 miles per second? Well, the article explains this is a claim of some United States physicists who say that they have designed an unusual waveguide to make sound more superluminous, or as they would say, move at superluminous speed. Sound often comprises numerous superimposed waves of various wavelengths. At certain points, these constitute waves can be all combined constructively to produce a pulse, move through the medium at a velocity known as group velocity. In a normal medium, the velocity of the waves is proportionate to the wavelength. Hence, in other words, it travels at 1,120 feet per second. However, there's an anomaly that can occur. Highly absorbed at certain frequencies, velocity is proportionate to wavelengths, meaning that the group velocity can become much faster than light. All right, so we understand that makes sense because our body is held together by sound. That's what we do know. In the presence of disease, in case that some sound has gone out of tune. This is why they call your body organs. Your bodily have organs, right? What is an organ?
The instrument
An instrument.
That's why I use tuning forks too.
Uh-oh, tuning forks to put you back in tune, to bring you back in tune. All right. We use the voice also to bring you back in tune. All right. So this is how you can remove dis-ease, is by tuning yourself, your organs. All right. Your organs. All right. So we know that there's 7 sounds particularly in which that we often go over, right? Your crown chakra sound is I. Your third eye is E. The medulla oblongata at the back of the head is Y. The throat chakra is A. The heart chakra, thymus gland is the solar plexus is the navel and the sacrum is and the genitals is Those are the vowels. Notice that. So the vowels keep you in tune harmoniously, your organs, to keep you, as they say, the sound has been able to tune you the same way and bring you back into harmonial balance, all right, or harmony. While the presence of dis-ease indicates that some sound has gone out of tune. So understanding that, and remember, sound can be, as according to the article, has been shown to increase even faster than light. So think about that, right? So that means sound can actually encapsulate light. Truthfully, remember, that's how they say that the universe was formed, was bang. What's a bang? What does a bang make? Oh, okay.
And Rippleton, when she would sing, she would break glass.
Yeah, Ella Fitzgerald too, right?
Unless somebody says something that hurts your feelings. But
Right.
sound is powerful.
Wow. Yeah. Think about that.
Words do hurt.
Yeah.
I know they used to tell us sticks and stones, but you know what I'm saying? But
And
you know,
words make you fall in love too. Words are powerful.
yeah, that's true. So we know that the mind precedes all mental states, right? Dhammapapta, which symbolizes that aspect from the Sanskrit teachings. So we know that sound correlates with the science of breath. We know that the breath also regulates your organs. All right? The breath regulates your whole bodily system. So at 18 breaths a minute, we call that the beast breath. All right? It's too hyperventilated. But it deals with your interpersonal consciousness. And that taps into your bone structure, your skeleton system. All right? 0 to 1 minute if you breathe the 18 breaths a minute. 9 breaths a minute taps you into your intrapersonal consciousness. That taps into your tissue, your muscular system if you did that for 12 minutes. 7.5 breaths a minute taps you into life consciousness. All right, your blood, the plasma, if you did that for 24 minutes. 6 breaths a minute taps into the subconscious. All right, that's your cellular body if you did that for 36 minutes. 4.5 breaths a minute, superconsciousness, and it taps you into your molecular structure if you did it for 48 minutes. 3 breaths a minute, all right, is magnetic consciousness. It taps you into your atomic particles if you did it for 1 hour or 60 minutes, all right? 1 breath a minute, which is called infinite consciousness, taps into the subatomic particle of yourself if you did it for 72 minutes. Now, what is 1 breath a minute? That is simply breathing 30 seconds in, 30 seconds out. 1 breath a minute. If you did that for 72 breaths, you would go into the realm in which that we just talked about, which is the world of God. All right, you go into the realm or the world of God. That's infinite consciousness. All right, this is how Adam was able, as your Bible would say, he was able to talk to God because he was once in infinite conscious state, or he was able to transcend into infinite conscious state. All right, this is what is going on here. So states of consciousness, and this was basically said by Albert Einstein, no problem solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. So you have to go into a deeper level of consciousness, above the level of consciousness in which that we see the problems that is taking place in the world, in order to find some type of answer for these problems. All right. So we just gave you the clue, or the key actually, to being able to do so. If the average person breathes 18 breaths a minute out here, how can they really understand a person who breathes 3 breaths a minute when they are on the beast level, which is 18 breaths a minute? And we say beast because 6 + 6 + 6, 666, the beast level. All right.
And that's why we're having problems and trouble with thinking our way out of this situation.
Right.
We're in the same position we were in 100 years ago. That's deep.
Yeah.
We need to breathe deeper.
Yeah, we got to breathe deeper. All right. So the following is an example of how it works. We are taught that sound wave travels at 1,120 feet per second. Like we said, light travels at 186 miles per second. Thought travels at 24 billion miles per second. But here's the equation through numeral figures. All right. 1,120 feet for sound plus 186,000 for light equals 19. There's no coincidence that at 19 degrees south is the upswelling of energy, which we call Kundalini in your body. No coincidence that at 19 degrees north, when the Kundalini hits your pineal gland, it becomes another upswelling of energy called your soul. Hence, the word soul is taken from the same S-O-U-L is S-O-L, which is solar. So this symbolizes the light within each and every one of us. As you would say, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, right? Then we find that 24 billion miles per second, which is thought. And when you add these numbers together, 19 times 6 equals 114, which happens to be how many chapters?
In the Quran.
In the Quran. Uh-oh. And remember, it says that there's 19 angels over it. If you read those 19 angels, it's talking about angels of light. There's 19 angels. It's talking about right here at the base of the spine. There's 19. The number 19. Because if I took a 6-pointed star configuration and overlaid it on each of our bodies, it would be at 19 degrees. That it would be a swirling of energy called Kundalini, 19 degrees south. At north, it would be at the pineal gland. This is no coincidence. All right. Dr. Rashid broke down his Quran based on the numerals of the number 19. All right. You got to go back and do some research on Dr. Rashid. He was killed for that information because the Sunnis and the Shiites did not like him revealing that information. Too bad we're in a new day and new time. All right. We're in a new day and new time. Okay. So basically, we have to remember who we are. Good book is David Icke.
Hold up now.
What? Come on.
Just broke it down.
Come on. Say it again, guys.
19th chapter in Al-Quran is the chapter of Alim.
Miriam, right? Miriam,
Energy.
right?
Yes.
Well, remember the Kundalini is called the Mother Goddess Principle. So the Kundalini is Miriam, which is Offset. And Offset.
Demify the woman, like
Right.
Tommy Sotomayor and Kevin Samuels, you become rich.
Right,
Abundance.
right. Because you're putting everything back into a patriarchal system of mind and mentality. But this isn't about the patriarch. This is about the matriarch. And us coming as males into balance with her. Because she already where she needs to be. She's the most psychic being on this planet.
Exactly.
But she do need to get in her right mind, though.
Yeah, but even in her wrong mind, she still got psychic powers. She still is in tune with Mother Nature. But the right mind just means that had to let go of the ego. We all have to do that. We all have to let go. Right. And the pains and traumas and right, and the dramas.
So the solution is in healing the woman.
Right.
Yes.
Well, healing self. Yeah, heal thyself. Know thyself, and you will heal thyself. Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, so we understand that. So when we get into, for example, I give a good example. Neil Bohr, physicist, he says everything we call real is made of things that cannot be regarded as real. If quantum mechanics hasn't profoundly shocked you, you haven't understood it yet. Because the further back they go, they realize that it keeps going. How deep can the rabbit goes? There's no ending. So they keep finding over and over again, on tools, how time and space are tools used by the universe. And the mind is the universe in miniature form. I'll say that again. Time and space are tools used by the universe. And the mind is the universe in miniature form. The universe is the macrocosm, and the mind is the microcosm. All right, y'all got that? Yeah. Thus, the mind uses time and space as well. And would do you.
That's how Brother Dooley is able to utilize these herbs and go into his past lives.
Right.
400 centuries.
Time travel.
Exactly. Exactly.
Miniature.
Because the mind uses time and space. Because the mind uses time and space. Exactly. And what is it with space? What is it that you do with space? You put things there. Hence, dreams. Right. You put dreams there. Right. Which occupies the mind or the brain in particular. So, this is what we have to understand. So the entire universe and all its parts, whether sun, stars, planets, mountains, or men, are reducible in the finale to one simple science of vibratory waves that affects our consciousness through our physical senses. So what is consciousness? That is just another question of many moderate science cannot answer. According to the dictionary, consciousness is the knowledge of sensations and mental operations or what passes in one's own mind. Behaviorists declared that man has no consciousness. That statement could possibly be correct. Some authorities hold that the consciousness man appears to have and express is really the consciousness of God acting upon and through the brain, but limits by capacity of the brain. The masters taught that the thing we think, we hear, smell, see, feel, and taste has no actual existence other than as wave forms recognized by our consciousness, which is only an emanation of the great I am consciousness. So really, we are being downloaded. All right, we're being downloaded from higher spirits, angels, gods, your higher self in particular. All right, this is what is being proven. Is a science called biocentrism. All right, this is by Robert Lancer, MD. All right, and basically what he did, he in his book. He talks about quantum theories, and he proves that consciousness or awareness perception moves from one universe into another. This is what he proved. So I've talked about this before, is that Elijah already told us this essentially. All right, he really basically already told us this. Black Root Science, if you ever read those books, the brother tells us this information also. All right, and I'll get to it, but he says right here is that that your consciousness moves to another universe even after death. There are several theories that indicates that man consciousness move to another place after death. According to scientists, the structure of the universe we live in, its laws and forces constants are in fact fine-tuned for life. This implies the existence of intelligence prior to matter. The book Biocentrism, How Life and Consciousness Are the Keys to Understanding the True Nature of the Universe, written by Dr. Robert Lancer, which is voted the third most important scientist alive by the New York Times. Dr. Lancer became interested and involved with physics, quantum mechanics, and astrophysics. This erratic mixture gave rise to a new theory of biocentrism. According to biocentrism, life and consciousness are a fundamental part of the universe. Consciousness is responsible for the creating the material universe and not the other way around. Dr. Lancer suggests that space and time are not like objects or things, but are tools that are utilized by our animal understanding. Lancer indicates that mankind carries space and time like turtles with shells. When the shell comes off, space and time, we do not cease to exist. In other words, this theory suggests that death of consciousness simply does not exist. If our bodies is receiving consciousness like a satellite obtaining its signals, this consciousness does not cease to exist on death because we are receiving it. We are receiving consciousness. This consciousness is coming from your higher self, the God you. You have not encapsulated the totality of your mind into this brain, into this physical body. You only use about 10% of your brain on a daily basis. The other 90% goes unused. What's the other 90% stretches towards? It stretches towards the universe, the totality of the universe, which is 76 quintillion miles in diameter, according to the Nation of Islam and the Nation of Gods and Earth teachings. 6 quintillion miles in diameter. So that means that the rest of the 90%, which is outside of you, is the totality of the universe, and that 10% you are able to draw and channel down whenever you need to, if you are able to control the mechanism called your breath. Your breath takes you into those deeper levels of consciousness, which give you access to that other 90%, or the totality of that 100%. Because remember, you're only using about 10% of your brain on a daily basis. The other 90% is basically taken into the span of the whole universe, the whole gambit of the universe. Everybody understand what I'm saying? All right. So we're not the physical body, but the soul. The soul is present in the heart of every living being, including animal. The soul is 1/10,000th of a upper point of a single hair. That's how large the soul is. And that soul, so minute, is actually inside of your pineal gland. That's the seat of the soul. All right. The French philosopher Rene Descartes, he told us this, that is the seat of the soul. All right. This 1/10,000th of an upper point of a single hair is your Asar. Set, which is Maryam, and why it's the 19th chapter in the Quran is because that is at 19 degrees, and she moves up to reconnect the parts of Asar. Remember, Asar was cut up into 14 pieces, according to the story from the book of Coming Forth by Day and Night, misnomer by E.A. Wallace Budge as being the Book of the Dead. Remember? He was cut into 14 pieces. 14 pieces, what that means? He was separated. In other words, your consciousness. You believe that you were just a physical being living in the physical world. All right? Madonna. What she say? Who remember the song? All right, exactly. Y'all remember that? Don't be acting like y'all, don't went past the age of Madonna. Come on now, that was in the 80s. I know I was born at least by the 80s. I don't know, at least maybe, I don't know. Some of y'all might, I don't know. How old are you, bro? Oh, 25? Hold on, no, he's a 90s baby. He don't know nothing about this right here. But you heard the song, though. I know you heard the song. Okay, there you go. That's what I thought. All right. Right, on the oldie but goodie station, right? All right. So this is what we do know. Although so minute, the soul is so powerful that it animates the entire body with consciousness. So we know that the soul, which is the universal miniature form, basically emanates the whole physical body with consciousness. So that's how your cells, all 76 trillions of your cells, which this they can take one speck of blood, one strand of hair, one speck of spittle, and form a whole nother you into existence. Remember, each cell actually what we would call clone material. Right? This is how they can clone us. Right? Some people can be cloned, some can't, allegedly. All right? But here, it is situated in the heart where it leaves the body. The heart stops beating. As a result, the blood stops circulating and the entire bodies begin to disintegrate. There are 8.4 billion different bodies the individual soul can reside in. Unlike the physical body, the soul can never be destroyed. For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. Matter of fact, it's above time. If it wasn't for the soul, there would be no time and space, apparently. How he has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing. All right. He is not slain when the body is slain. This is from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Sanskrit teachings. So this is the same signs that they say about Melchizedek. Think about that. They say Melchizedek has no mother nor father, right? Okay. Think about that. So Melchizedek is actually equivalent to the soul principle, which is talking about actually the crown chakra, called the pineal gland is the seat of the soul, right? And when you reach the, I guess you say the Ascetian energy reaches the Osarian energy, which is here at the crown, it actually gives birth to your Heru. This is how you get your Heruhood, or the Buddhahood, as they call it. This is where you see Buddha underneath the tree, and you find the 7 serpents over top of his head, symbolizes the 7 chakras being activated and open. All right. This is why you can read about the Akasha tree of Osar. All right. This is why you read about Jesus being crucified on the tree or cross. All right. There's always a tree involved. Even with Adam and Eve, they had the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Oh, then they also had the tree of life. Oh, no, don't let them eat from the tree of life. Otherwise, they'll live forever doing bad and good. You know what I'm saying? Say, oh, no, we can't allow that. Okay. Y'all know the stories of the trees. So a conscious melanated mind is the greatest threat to the system of white supremacy. Okay, I'm gonna leave that right there. Because true teachings is not the accumulation of knowledge, it's the awakening of consciousness which goes through successful stages. This is the ancient Egyptian proverb or Kemetic proverb. And we just went over those particular stages when we said 18 breath, 9 breath, 7.5, 6 breath, 4.5, 3, 1 breath. Those are the 7 stages of consciousness. And it says true teaching is not accumulation of knowledge, it's awakening of consciousness. So this is my purpose, is to help you awaken consciousness. Brothers Dooley purpose is help you to awaken consciousness. All right.
This is the solution to the plan.
This is our, you know, me and Brother Dooley we've been building this almost 20 years. All right, almost 20 years. You know, I lectured here over 10, 15 years ago. How long was it? It was a while ago. All right. So true consciousness is not the accumulation of knowledge. It is the awakening of consciousness, which goes through successive stages. That's what we want. So we gave you the stages on how to go into deeper levels. Because remember, in psychology, they told you about these things. Sigmund Freud told about what? The id, the ego, the superego, right? This is what he's spoken of. But we also know that conscious awakening, we know that there's what we call the gamma state. This is what they call it, the gamma state, right? Which is 40 to 80 cycles per second, which is super consciousness, all right? Then we have the beta state, which is 13 to 39 cycles per second, which is consciousness. Then we have the alpha state, which is 8 to 13 cycles per second, which is self-consciousness. Then we have the theta state, which is 4 to 8 cycles per second, which also taps you into super consciousness. Then we have the delta state, which is 0.5 to 4, which is actually cycles per second, which is actually dream state. And then, of course, you know that there's an even deeper level, which is called delta theta, which taps you into the dreamless state. All right. And actually, that state is actually the same as the death of the physical body, essentially, except the cord is cut. All right. And what is the cord? The cord within, you go to Ecclesiastes. You go to Ecclesiastes, it speaks of the silver cord. All right. And the silver cord is cut. That is your etheric cord. All right. Your etheric or ethereal cord, it is cut at death. All right. Sometimes when you do mushrooms or or have an out of body experience or have a near death experience, you can see the cord as you exit your body. You can see the cord. Some just have a vibratory rate. What we found out is that if you came through a C-section, you just have a vibratorial existence. There is no cord. However, if you was born through the canal of the mother, you'll see the cord. All right, this is what we found out. All right, me and a good brother, and y'all might know who this is. All right, lay salam upon him because he passed last year. All right, you know who it is, Brother Dooley. You've taken you taking over some of his information right now in practice, and I'm glad because there's always someone else who had to step into the roles of our great leaders, huh? Yeah, what's his name? Baba Kalindi, exactly. All right. He's also on the video in which that we're talking about that we're going to do. He did a portion on there, about an hour and a half. So he will be also on the edited version of the Blow documentary, and he speaks about that. All right, that there is no silver cord or ethereal cord. And he's talking about with the children who was born from C-sections, they don't see the cord, in which that is spoken of within various, if you go to the Astara Secret Society, if you go to the Rosicrucians, they all speak about this silver cord. The silver cord isn't mentioned for those who came through a C-section. It's only for those who came through a vaginal birth, yes. Same thing. Right, same thing. They can do it vibratorily, but they won't see the cord. So they can. Etheric realm. Right. The etheric realm is just the realm that's above this physical. All right. Actually, you have an ethereal body right now. It's about 2 to 6 inches above your physical body. All right. Everybody etheric. I guess you say body is a little bit different based on how much you meditate and breathe, and master your various bodies, or your chi or ki energy, your pranic energy body, right? The desire body is also referred to as. All right, so we live in a holographic universe, called the holographic universe. All right, which is the studies of holographic projection, 3D visual reality platform, solid states projection. Speaks all about this. Matter of fact, this is actually shown in the TV show Truman Show. Not a TV show, but the movie Truman Show. Y'all remember with what's his name? Jim Carrey. Thank you, Jim Carrey. He shows you this. All right, he was living a life just happy-go-lucky all day long. Hi, how you doing? Hi, Bob. Hi, mailman. He was just happy. But then something happened. All right. What happened? He fell in love. Things opened his eyes, right? And then next thing you know, he was like, hold up, this ain't right. Something going on here. You know, they took his love interest. So he was like, they ain't doing that. So eventually he broke out of the show. All right. And this is what this is being actually shown here. A lot of other alchemical additives is in there. It's super interesting though. All right. But I'm gonna let y'all go and check that out. And it says right here, Scientific American Magazine, March 5th, 2014 says, is our universe a hologram? Right, this is what part of the article says. It says, we took for granted that we exist as 3D beings in a 3D universe, but physicists suggest that our world is the projection of a reality written in 2D. Wow. Wow. Dang. Scientist Rick Henson commented, I'm 2D living in a 3D holographic projection. The end of what is space was about black holes storing up information or data on the outside of its shell. Remember, we talked about how time and space is like shells on the physical body, just like on a turtle. Time and space only exists because of a physical body existence. All right? And that we are all just projections of a 2D data stored in black holes. Wow. So that means our higher selves are being projected through black holes. And you have to transform your physical body into a ship to get back to become your higher self. That's what is known as your rainbow body. That's what is known. Oh, yeah. You ain't never heard of the rainbow body? Oh, that's some deeper stuff there. I'm going to talk about it in a second. Oh, no.
They got it.
Right.
Probably, yeah, where the children always gravitate to the rainbow and the unicorn.
Right. You know, their rainbow is upside down.
That's right.
Right.
We talking about right side up. Right. 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 At the bottom. Exactly. So we know that Morpheus symbolized the Greek god of dreams in the movie Matrix, right? And what did he tell Neo? He said, you're living in a dream world, Neo. Right? So have you ever had a dream? This is what Morpheus told Neo. Neo, that you were so sure was real. What if you was unable to wake from that dream? How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world? And you know, this has to be true because we've seen people who have passed away in their sleep with smiles on their faces. Why would you be smiling? Think about that. Why would you be smiling? That just doesn't make any sense, do it? You done seen people fight against it much. They be like, oh, right? Why would some people be smiling? Because they're seeing their ancestors? Think about it, the ones who have passed on and they are so joyful. And then the only thing that happens is say, oh, well, come on with us. And they're just like, sure. But the smile is still there on their face. So Morpheus says you're living in a dream world, Neo. And Morpheus then says the Matrix is a computer-generated dream world. He told us this. It's in the movie Matrix, right? A generated dream world. So there's a new theory in quantum physics that suggests that we travel to parallel universes when we dream. Now, remember, I just told you that Dr. Lancer just finished saying that when we die, we travel to what? Another universe. So when we dream, we travel to another universe. Now, hold up. This makes sense now because it says sleep is the sister or cousin to what? Death.
You got to die before you die.
You don't die. Uh-oh. One more time with that lyric.
You got to die before you die. So when you die, you don't die.
So you got
meditate.
Right. So you got to die to the ego, so that when you die, you don't die. Because if you're trapped in an ego world, you die. If you're not trapped in the ego world, you continue to live.
That's what the Christians are talking about with everlasting.
Right.
The holy of holies,
Mm-hmm.
the Christ.
Right. They got the concept right. So right here, the human hologram is written by Dr. Robin Kelly. The human hologram, living your life in harmony with the unified field. So, New Scientist says you are a hologram projected from the edge of the universe. Wow. So quantum physicists are saying the exact same thing that metaphysicists been saying for hundreds of years. They now come to realization that what was said by the metaphysicians is quantum. Matter of fact, the word metaphysician is the same as quantum physician, because the word meta means to go beyond the physics or the physical body, while quantum physics means to leap beyond the physical body. What's the difference? A leap or to go beyond?
A little faster.
Right. A leap or right, but it's the same information now. So quantum physicists are teaching metaphysics at the universities, and they don't want you to know it. Right. Yeah, CERN.
What's the proton collider?
CERN. You're talking about CERN. Right. CERN is what is caused the Mandela effect.
Oh,
CERN is a machine in which that has caused the Mandela effect. And we know that the Mandela effect is real. I know that for a fact. Because I had at 9 years old, I give you an experience on what happened. At 9, I was living in Coney Island in Brooklyn. I'm walking down the street, coming back from the store. UFO hovering over top of my head, about 100 to 150 yards right over top of my head. I'm 9 years old. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, this is deep. Lights going in around it in the colors of the rainbow. Roy G. Biv. So I'm looking, I'm like, yo, you know, I'm going like this. I'm like, hold up. It's still there. It's still there. All right. I do it a third time. And then, you know, it's gone. Didn't make a sound. When it arrived and hovered over my head, I just had like the feeling like something was there. Something was, watching me. So I look up. And that's what it was. So what happened then is that I get back to the house, or the apartment, and I told my mom, I said, because I've been watching the TV, and it was talking about quote unquote Time Life magazine books. So I told my mom, Mom, can you order me the Time Life magazine books? And she orders me the Time Life magazine books. Now, as I get to college 10 years later at 19, right? I just going into my first year of college. I just turned 19. I'm going to college. And my homeboy, Nebo, he was a funny dude. I'm pretty sure he's still funny as hell now. But he was like, boy, come here. Let me tell you something. What you doing with these right here? No, I said, yo, these are the books that I had after my, little experience. And I told my mom to get me, the Time Life magazine books. So he's like, let me read a couple. So he takes the one that he wanted to check out and read, right? All right. Now, they state, if you go to the Wikipedia now, they say that those books just came out in 1987. I was in high school.
No.
Right. I was in high school. Oh yeah. I was in high school, all right, in 1987, my last year. All right, going from the 11th grade into the 12th grade. And then here I have the books in my first year of college, first semester, 88. So the books could not have just came out because I told Nebo that, right, so I told Nebo that I had the books since I was 9. They say the books just came out. Go to the website, Wikipedia. They say the editions of these books just came out in 1987. I said, Mandela effect. There's no way possible because I had these books. I know I had these books since I was 9 years old. No way possible. So, right. So I know that this CERN has caused Mandela effect. Then Baba Phil Valentine talked about it at one of the last events. Matter of fact, I lectured with him at that event. I'm talking about the last event. But it's 2 years ago, I lectured with Baba Phil Valentine and Brother Panic and all of us. We was right in Brooklyn in New York. No, wasn't in Brooklyn or Harlem. It was in one of them. But we was there. It was the God Conference. All right. So at the God Conference, we actually built on the CERN, and he talked about it, and he talked about, you know, how everything was connected and how the Mandela effect was came about. And I had to think about it when I looked at Wikipedia just 2 weeks ago, because my wife and I started writing a book. It's called UFO Phenomenon, or UFOs and Strange Phenomena. That's the name of the book. All right. We about finished with that, so we'll have that out soon. Right, because she's had experiences with orbs and UFOs and.
How about y'all? Anybody here?
Yeah, see.
This is film
Word.
Yeah.
above my house.
Yeah.
Above my house.
Mm-hmm.
And they were yellow on one side and reddish orange on the other side.
Right.
It was 8 to 10 of them. I just happened to walk past my window on the 3rd floor, and I just looked up and I see these 2 orbs going past the chimney. And I'm like, I'm freaking out. I'm like, hold up. I've been looking at stuff since I was 10 years old.
Right.
Telescope since I was 10, 11 years old.
Right.
What's what?
Right.
Then I open up the window and I see people down the street. And I said, do you see that? He said, yeah. There's 8 to 10 of them. And so I'm like, I'm gonna get my phone.
Yeah, right.
I come back.
They was
on
going.
their way out.
On their way out, yeah.
Like,
Right.
no sound.
No sound. Right, exactly. No sound.
I got
Exactly.
a video, I'll put it on my Facebook page too. When I was in Georgia, Waynesboro, on the land,
Right.
I was just shooting a video of it, and it was all over the place. When I watched the video, I seen it. And they were spinning, like making little designs. Like,
Right.
But you didn't see it when you were there, right?
Yeah, I didn't see them, but when I
Right.
watched the video, they were like all over the place. There's some of them were like little things.
Right.
You can see them right on the
Like, you
video.
can see them.
That's the ancestors.
Yeah, and
Right.
because that's our family land.
Mhm.
Waynesboro, Georgia. When I was out, it was like open fields. You could see it all over the place on the video. It's on my Facebook page. I posted it.
But see, when he was there, he couldn't see
Mhm.
them. He
You
didn't
see
see
them,
them.
but they
They
were
back. They all around you.
and I got them on my altar too.
Yeah.
I seen one who came and visited me one night too. But it looked like my great grandmother, my aunt.
The recording has started.
It looked like my great grandmother, but it looked like my aunt too at the same time. And then it flew off. But I know it was like the 7 generations for the mother's father's side. It was just all one and all one image. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. It's real stuff, I know.
Who else had experience? I know you have.
Several times. Yeah. Like one time I was riding my bike and I seen a crowd. It did a 90 degree turn, so it made like I never seen an aircraft just do like and then it just disappeared. You know what I mean? So and then there was another one late at night. It was flashing some purple and some other type of lights. It was about 500. And then another time, too, being at the frozen tongue, and I seen my credit, 2 brains, and I seen them, and I was like, oh, I freaked out. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
I know, right?
And they were just staring, and then they just disappeared. They stopped in and popped out. But at that time, you know, that was when I was much younger. But like,
Yeah, you told me that story before.
Now I was
Yeah. Of course.
They're gonna be putting holograms.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Lights and stuff now, you really gotta know.
right. That's Project Bluebeam. Right. Common sense. That's right.
Right off the bat.
That's right.
When you use your discernment, you would know now. You know that. They look exactly what they're not. They're in your house. Store.
Right.
They're looking around. You got to use your third eye on that.
Right.
You
Right.
got things in place.
Exactly.
Right.
They already
Exactly.
have deployed over 42,000 satellites. That's why they
Yeah,
microchipping
they're
everybody.
getting it ready.
It's called Starlink. And
Right.
you'll see them, it's like,
Elon Musk did it.
yeah, you know they got paper to do it.
I'll pay for it. We're getting them all out of the richest people out there. But we pretend to be broke, but we got bad stuff happening. So we're taking their money and they use it against us.
Right.
So that's
But we growing, we changing, we
right.
turning.
It's starting right now.
Yeah.
It's starting, yeah.
I had a experience traveling all the way to California from here using the extraterrestrial highway. Using that extraterrestrial highway, and then there was a craft up to the left.
Wait, that's going towards Roswell?
Yeah, all of that.
Mhm.
Towards Utah.
You saw it,
And
okay.
everything like that, going down to the Nevada Triangle and all that.
Right, right.
Had an experience where, it was around with the, like you explained,
The lights.
neon lights on the bottom of it.
Mhm.
So this is coming, I'm kind of like coming out of the trance because I'm driving for so long and doing all of this, going through. And so when I come out to going straight again, this is when I see them. And then after that, seeing them down, it looked like it got closer. So then I come back out of the trance, and to the left, it looks like it's on the ground with a door open up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that was really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely, that's interesting just listening to it.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, that's
Open the door for you.
right.
Yeah, but I was on the right side driving, saying, but they was on the left side. And kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It was like leaning a little bit and the door was open or whatever. Yeah, it was deep.
Anybody else?
So that shows right there.
Don't.
All right, so the primary function,
She also goes to this science too.
yeah, Dolores Cannon. Who was you saying?
Dolores Cannon.
Yeah, Dolores Cannon. Y'all have to, if y'all never read her books, get all her books. Dolores Cannon, Cannon, Cannon. Deep. Right. So we find that the primary function of DNA is electromagnetic reception and transmission. Less than 10% of the DNA function involve protein manufacture. Then 90% functions in the realm of bioacoustics. What's that? Sound. And bioelectric signaling. All right. Light. Sound and light is the remainder of the 90% of the DNA that we do not use, which is called junk DNA. So sound is utilized to awaken what? The junk DNA. Also to awaken, which is connected to the 90% of the brain that you do not use too. So this is where some people are able to channel information down into them. It's because they have opened certain aspects of their DNA, their junk DNA. Which give them access to
automatic for certain people, but
right.
Everybody can develop.
Right. Well, we gave you the tones in order to do it. We did that 20, 30 minutes ago. The tones. Those are the tones that you use to do it. Oh, see, we got it. I'm gonna take you back every time.
Yeah, they just do.
Mm-hmm. And see, we're saying this because people would say that, right? People would say that UFOs don't exist, but however, the human eye can only see between 430 to 770 T-hertz. Right. Our ears can only detect sound between 20 hertz to 20 kHz. These ranges makes up only a fraction of the total sound and light frequency range. This means there's a lot going on around us that we can't see or hear. All right, understand what we just said. All right, so this is why if you are in a real calm, meditative state. You're able to tune into things in which that you normally would not be able to tune into. Whether duly seen the grays or UFOs, you seen the orbs. My wife seen UFOs and orbs. You seen UFOs. I'm seeing UFOs and orbs. That's why we seen this.
I know how to see the atoms too.
Oh yeah,
In the atom.
right.
If you're looking at the
Sun.
looking off to the,
Yep.
you can squint your eyes.
Switch your eye. Right. You see the atoms just dipping. Those are atoms, but those are also what's called pranic particles, or what is known as photonic particles. Right. Photon. Right. Oh yeah, you can see them. Especially if you're at a beach and you're looking off at the far, if you're looking off in the distance, you can see, you know what I'm saying, what looks like snow. Of course, they call that white snow, white noise.
Yes.
They call it white noise, but you can actually see it.
White noise.
Right.
Traveling time with
Yep.
the radio.
Yep.
It's right here, right
Right now.
Right now.
Exactly. 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 And they know it because there's a physicist joint they do called double slit. You ever heard of the double slit experiment?
Yeah, when the atom goes to
Right.
when you're looking at it, it's one thing.
Right.
You're paying attention to it. It changes.
Exactly.
Of course. I see
Exactly.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like a flash, like
Right.
somebody's taking a picture of it. But that's you observing yourself through
Right.
the energy of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Flashes of light.
Right. So this modern double slit experiment is demonstrated that light and matter can display characteristics of both classical defined waves and particles. So scientists recognize that upon observation, particles will go through one slit or hole or the other. However, upon non-observation, not watching, the particles become waves and they will go through both slits or holes at the same time. So, right. So if you're looking, the conscious electron will only go through one. Like, oh, yes. However, if you're not looking, it comes waves and go through both.
Which is your tunnel vision and your peripheral.
Right. Your peripheral, remember, time and space. Remember, we wear time and space like turtles wear shells. So our observation deals with time and space. So this is why electrons act like that. So we can manifest this worldly existence. Because remember, we're God playing human. We're God playing human. Go ahead, brother dude.
I had an experience over the time. I usually have my wife to my job.
Mhm. Right.
So I usually leave my apartment around.
I've done the same thing, brother Dooley.
To get to my job at 4, right? I was running late. I think it was 3:52.
Mm-hmm.
I got to my job like 3:57, 3:58. So
Yeah.
In 5 to 6 minutes.
5-6 minutes.
Right.
Only give me 15 minutes.
Right.
What I was doing is I was sitting in something. I was using this tunnel vision,
Right.
where I was seeing everything around me.
Right.
While I was like jumping.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It was weird.
I know.
Deep, man, but
I know.
man, I had another brother who had an interesting experience like that, where he was almost pulled out, right? He was on this highway and he was showing off with his girlfriend. She's like, slow down, right? And they had ongoing traffic on the other side, and they was about to hit this 18-wheeler or whatever, right? He said that he went through it. He's like,
Mm-hmm. I heard that before.
That it could have happened. They would have got chopped off or whatever.
Decapitated.
This day,
Right.
the girls still asking what happened when we was on the highway. You know what I mean? Because it was crazy. And then I know 2 other people that stopped time.
Right.
One person, she was in one of my ayahuasca ceremonies.
You took that shell off for a second, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was messing with the Zohar. She was doing some with the Zohar. You know what I mean? And I was like, Kabbalah science.
Right, Kabbalistic science. Yeah.
So she was at her work site, and she was doing these prayers, and next thing you know, she stopped time.
Yeah.
Everybody that was around her was like frozen.
Right.
And she was outside the time about 3 to 4 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And she was walking around, whatever, and then all of a sudden things start going back.
Right.
It was crazy.
No.
Hear about these men.
Yo, my wife's best friend, Makiba, would tell you right now, all right? She would tell you right now how I slow down time so she can get to work too.
Right.
Her best friend would, if we can call her.
What did you do, Alim?
Right.
You're not late.
Right, because we left. Now she's supposed to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we was
An hour away.
right, and we built it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's deep, we all have the same.
Yeah.
That's why at TV, the internet, that's why you get money, even on life, and this fight because distraction.
Right,
So you can't work on yourself.
right,
And maybe that's why it's supposed to get so much money because they're distracted so much.
right,
Back to the Romans. That's
right. Well, remember that's why they told LeBron James, yo, just dribble the ball. You know what I'm saying? Yo, don't even try to deal with politics. Just dribble that ball, yo. Do your job. Yo.
Because he started writing metaphysical books for children.
Right. Yeah, Kobe.
I started buying them.
Yeah.
Passed, and I felt out what happened. I bought a bunch of them. I bought them.
Yeah, we got them too. Yeah.
They quality too. Yeah, quality. I'm talking about these books. It's felt and colorful on the inside.
I got them. Yeah, like collectors.
That's why they killed him.
Books. Yeah, they told me to cut that out. And that
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They told him, why are you doing it?
Because you see, when they get out of line, somebody around them dies because they can't keep you back. And then they Will Smith turned his daughter way through it.
Right. Now notice Dwayne Wayne now got his own TV show with them catching balls and all types of crazy shit. I don't even know what that show is. I watched it last night. Now I'm like, what the heck is this? You know what I'm saying? But he's a host of his own show. I'm like, oh, this is after you turn your son gay.
Of couples in a square catching balls.
Right, it's called Q.
It
It don't make sense.
Behind your head talking. They do it with commercials too.
Yeah.
The shapes of all section and stuff.
Right.
Ice, orange, cup.
Right. Perception.
Yeah.
Right.
Idris Elba, he did a commercial. He's like,
Yeah.
y'all seen it?
Probably wasn't.
Yeah, that was during the Super Bowl this past year. Or last year rather. That was during the Super Bowl last year.
I don't blame you. That's why he's like, UFOs coming around your house.
That's my entertainment.
I mean, the movies are all right. You just don't get entertained by the movie.
Right.
You decipher them because they tell you everything.
Right. No, they tell you.
But you just gotta know how to get out of it. Knowledge is
Right.
Don't let move. But once you break them down, so hey, I know that I gotta do that.
Exactly. True.
Right.
All right. Now, y'all heard of the Japanese scientist, Dr. Masaru Emoto?
Yeah.
Yes, with the water. All right. We know that what he did, the experiment, was that he took labels and labels of like, I love you or I hate you and put it on the water, right? Froze them. And what happened is that when he looked under the microscope and seen the molecules, all right? For example, when he seen the molecules for Mozart Symphony or Imagination by John Lennon, or which is Imagine Love, or if you say peace or thank you, you know what I'm saying, or even after you pray, it looks like a 6-point star configuration, so a snowflake. The molecules. However, if you say I hate you, or if you did it, or you're stupid, or you're ugly, or I will kill you, or before you pray, you know what I'm saying? This is why praying over your food is important too. All right, or I make you sick, or you make me sick, or heavy metal music. It looks discombobulated.
It looks molded.
Right.
It looks like regular water, but in the microscope it looks molded.
Right. Everything now is on 440 hertz, 432 hertz. The music at one time, natural music is at 432 hertz. Now is at 440 hertz, and 440 hertz, when you get in, I guess you say in tune with that frequency, it makes you more aggressive, agitated, irritated. You know what I'm saying? Make you angry. So now all of a sudden you find, remember, this was like during the 90s, where all of a sudden all this hip hop, started getting that vibration, and then all these killings started happening at these hip hop concerts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's rap. Right, well, everybody, wait, shit hop. Right. Excuse me. Let's make that correct. The bastard child of hip hop is shit hop, which is rap music. Let me make the distinction.
And the DJs know that. The
Right.
DJs know if they play some song, they love the night, if they play certain song, somebody gonna die. They know that.
Yeah. That's why the mix is so important. You know what I'm saying? That's why the music mix is so important. All right, so quantum properties of water has been discovered that water is like a hologram. Wow. So what makes this a hologram is the fact that we are water beings, aquarium beings, right? 75% of our being is water. Our brains is 90% water. Our liver is 82% water. Our spinal column is 85% water. Our bones is 22% water. We are aquatic beings. Right. Exactly. Right. So the water, if you are water or aquatic being made of water, 75%, and I tell you that I love you, and I really do mean it, what happens? 6-pointed star configuration. If I tell you that I hate you, then discombobulated. All right. Right.
But if you think about all different
Right.
I'm saying, but the bad vibration is more that. What's up? You're strong. You're bad stuff. You feel that hot feeling.
Right. That's true. That's true. Right. Right.
Water goes by the river.
True. True.
Goes in the cup, like the cup. Goes spreads out. It takes any form.
Any form. Right. Well, that's what Bruce Lee said, be water, my friend.
That's what I said.
Yes, it goes through, yep, it does. Goes through water, yep. So think about it. He just broke it down. Sound travels through water fastest. And think about it. You 75% water, sound travels the fastest. Remember, that's what holds your physical body composition together is sound. And a particular sound is called two forces, centrifugal force and centrifugal force, which is what? Push and pull. Push and pull. That is the same as your action. What? You inhale, you exhale. Inhale is pull, exhale is push. That's centrifugal and centrifugal force. So your insulation and exhalation is nothing more than centrifugal and centrifugal force. Bingo. You got it. Polarity. Right.
My pops always told me there was a point in time where as travel we drunk or something in the water. Okay.
That's why whales like that sound.
Right.
They communicate.
Right.
All the way across the ocean. Aquaman the movie. You see
Show that with the waves. Right.
the dolphins are smart.
Yeah. Well, they use 100% of their brain. They looking at like, y'all still sleep. Oh, poor babies. That's how they looking at us. Like, y'all still sleep. Right. Well, remember, we use the speaking clicks. This tribe, huh?
Lobster fish in the whales. Got into the whale's mouth somehow. The whale
Hold on, he's still alive?
Yeah.
He saved him?
He was on to the He said spit them out.
Uh-oh, the truth. Uh-oh, the modern day Jonah. The modern day Jonah. Because remember, Jonah was in the belly of the whale for 3 days and 3 nights. Just like Jesus was in the sepulchre 3 days and 3 nights. Now, yeah, that's real.
He didn't even realize. He said, "This don't taste right."
Right? No, they found out that he was GMO. The whale was like, oh, here you go. Your little GMO self. Your little GMO self. Right.
You know those out there, the water's way harder than and deeper.
We're gonna look it up. We're gonna look that joint up. Yeah, there you go. Write it down so we can look that joint up because we got to find out that story because that's the modern day Jonah right there. It's on YouTube? Everybody know about that about us, huh? Okay. All right, I know we look it up because we behind the time on that one. Oh, it's new? Okay. So man saved by whale. Is that what you're saying? Okay, got you. All right, there you go. We got
What's the man? Oh, yeah.
say yeah. Well, yeah. This ain't Bubba out there on the shrimp boat. One more shrimp cocktail. Have more shrimp. Oh, it was a killer whale.
No, he just was.
Oh, okay. Sperm whale. Oh, white whale, something like that. Moby did. Okay, gotcha. All right, so we know that sounds form geometrical shapes. Sound and frequency forms geometrical shapes. We know that. Because if we take sand particles and we put it on a steel drum and play music through that steel drum, what will happen? They would make geometrical shapes. Right. Based on the sound, the sand particles will form a geometrical shape. So men is 6-pointed star configurations. The woman is 5-pointed star configuration. 6 plus 5 comes to the number what? 11. 1 and 1 equals 2, right? Right? So 1 and 1. All right, so 11 is also a master builder number, right? In numerology. So now, count the letters of abracadabra. How many do you have? 11. And the word abracadabra is Arabic, which means to spark a thing into life or into existence. Well, when 1 and 1, which is 11, gets together, they spark life into existence. Man and woman.
God, one God.
You got it.
Cut for one.
Yes, that's right. That's
God,
right.
One God.
One God. That's right. That's right. Kul huwa Allahu ahad. Allahu samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. That ahad. That oneness of Allah. All right. So when the 1 and 1 comes together, that forms actually, we say 2, but actually forms the 1 in which that brings something else into existence. The abracadabra. All right. So it's 3. You got it. That's right. 3. That's right. It's 1 and 1 and 1.
That lets you know right now.
That's why it's called the Holy Trinity. That's why it's called the Holy Trinity. That's why it's called the Holy Trinity. Exactly. So we have 76 trillion cells in our body, but of those 76 trillion cells of the atomic atoms, we have 7e27. So that's 27 zeros after the 7 of atoms that we compose of. And this atoms is carbon atom. Carbon atom. This is where Adam was named in the beginning. He was called Cadmium, Adam Cadmium. The word cadmium is carbon. They say he was the heavenly man. Yes, the celestial man, because carbon comes from the universe. which is what, as we said in the beginning, was black energy, dark matter, melanin. Ein Sophie Herb. That Holy Trinity. All right, over again. So there's as many atoms in a single molecule of your DNA or stars in the typical galaxy. We are, each of us, a little universe. And who said that? That's Neil deGrasse Tyson from his book Cosmos. All right. So scientists have documented that the photonic energy of the average human being emits the equivalent energy of a 120 watt light bulb, or 120 volt battery, or 25,000 BTUs. Also, our auric field, or astral, which is our star body, the higher astral body, which is our spiritual body, is eternal. It is equivalent to the lifetimes of the universe, which is approximately 10e22. So that's 10 and then 22 zeros behind that 10. All right, so that auric field contains the electronic mass of 420e21. So that's 21 zeros behind the 4. So that means that the mind is the equivalent to the diameter of the universe, which is 76 quintillion miles in diameter, as we spoke about earlier. That is the light in which that you can burn, because that is your auric field, the electromagnetic field, or the bioplasmic body in which that surrounds the human body and every organism and object in the universe. This is what is called the auric egg, and it emits out from the body approximately 2 to 3 feet on average on all sides. So if I took my arms and reached out like this and just went in a circle, that would be the average length of the average person. It extends above the head and then below the feet into the ground. All right. Now, if you don't believe that, you can't look up photography. Go ahead, guys.
Now, the average work field is much more.
Right.
Developed.
If you develop, right.
So that's why.
Do these breath techniques that we're talking about.
If you look up the book, the Autobiography of
Yogananda.
Great book.
Mhm.
There's a part of the book where they talk about how one of these gurus, his word is 10 miles.
For miles.
So people, his devotees, students knew that he was coming to town.
Wow.
Because they felt the energy
Before
he even came. That's right.
Because his work
Was that expansive? Yes, exactly.
You can do that too. Like, think about somebody calling
Right,
phone ring.
right,
You do it, you do it unintentionally, but
right,
the thing is, learn how to do it intentionally.
right. Consciously, right. We do it unconsciously, but we need to do it consciously. That's the key, right? Because we human beings consider ourselves to be made up of solid mass. Actually, the physical body is the end product, so to speak, of the subtle informational fields which mold our physical body as well as all physical matter. So these fields are holograms which change in time and are outside the reach of our normal senses. So this is why you have, right, seeing, tasting, touching, smelling, and hearing. Well, there's senses that's higher than each one of these, right? For seeing, you have clairvoyance. For taste, you have clairsentience. For hearing, you have clairaudience. For touch, you have psychchemistry, right? And for, what's the other one? For touch, no, not for touch, but for taste, you have clairsentience, clairgustance, right? Right, I think it's, yeah, smelling is clairgustance and taste is clairsentience. There we go. All right, so you have higher senses. Go ahead.
just remind me of 3 years ago, I had a friend that I used to work at this place called Bar.
I remember. Yeah.
And I remember she had this Egyptian calendar, Dara calendar, and I said to her, "Oh, that's a beautiful poster you have." And I touched it, and an image came to my head of my friend John Reed. Later, she before I even told her, I said, "Oh," she said, "Oh yeah, your friend John Reed brought that by."
Oh wow, psychchemistry. That was psychchemistry. Yes.
else to go. It said, if you touch the stone, because every bit of DNA that touches it goes time again. And they told me the truth when I was out there too. The guy that was like 30 groups, 40.
Right, and they tell you that it's terracotta, but that's granite.
Yeah.
That's another story. Go ahead. Yeah, the Nubian Egyptians. Yes. Yes. Like I said. Right. Right. The 12. Right. The 12. The 12.
And then they have other ones that speak no English. He said their grandfathers told them, they told them, and they told us.
Right.
And he spoke exactly 7 languages. I have no reason why. But it's just same story.
Right.
Drop some off.
Right.
Kept going. They
Right.
just like it was.
Right.
He had to take
the Mayans, who was actually the Olmecs.
Lights up
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff.
Yeah, you was at Chichen Itza.
Right.
Right. Right. You was at Chichen Itza. You was at Chichen Itza. Chichen Itza. Yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah. Right. Chicken and pizza. Right. Chichen Itza. Right. Right. That's the joke that they always say. Yeah. Chicken and pizza. Exactly. Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
I went in the brother just broke it down. He said the Ku Klux Klan, that's how they got their name.
Ku Klux Klan, right? That is how they.
From the Ku Klux Klan.
Right, Ku Klux Klan, right? That is how they got right. That's us. We are the Ku Klux Klan or Ku Klux Klan. Right, that's us. We're the serpent.
Star Trek.
Right.
He was a powerful being. He was like the melanated color.
Right.
Star Trek too. He said, I'm fine. And that's the serpent. And he had the blood, and he put the blood into a thing and gave it everybody. That's in the end. That's the melanin.
Right.
So if you take out, I think it's Mortal Kombat, Khan is always on at the top. Khan's the ultimate one at the top.
Yeah. Genghis Khan. They always tell you about him. Right. That was part of the Tartarian Empire. Right. But who was Genghis Khan? He was a Moor. All right. The Moors ruled. The Moors was the head of the Tartarian Empire. That was the Moorish Empire, and it stretched from all the way what we call Asia, Russia, all the way across into the Caribbean, all the way across into the North and South Americas, all the way into Africa. All of that was us. We ruled the world up until 1914. It also became known as the Ottoman Empire. Also, it was known as the Kushite Empire, also known as the Malian Ghana Empire. All of that is the same empire, the Kushites. Same empire, all right? And we ruled the planet, all right? It's just now recently, over the last 100 and some odd years, that we became deaf, dumb, and blind. Right. Uh-oh, where we at? We in Hiram? Oh, we in where? What lodge we in? We in Hiram Lodge. Uh-oh. Got knocked in his head, laid in the northeast. That's right. Hey, North Gate. Exactly. North what? Uh-oh. North America. Exactly. Because the same way you just talked about that, I'm going to let y'all hear our tour guide, when we went to Mexico, said the exact same thing that the guy just said. Here it is.
He said, I don't know why I'm telling you all this.
Here it is. Yup.
The first hot chocolate is in Mount Shasta, California. I told Red Hill and Blue Hill that we didn't get rid of the man.
Right.
This year.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first went to Cancun, I dropped my bags in my hotel room. And there was nothing but gas water in front of me.
That's what we did in 2007.
And I did the Al-Fatiha and 2 other prayers of the Quran. Yeah, I never felt so spiritual in my entire life. Right?
Yes.
But I was fortunate. My roommate, who was born in Mexico City,
Oh, deep.
he was my roommate. He took us, he was born on the same day I was, 1 year apart. And he took us to Tulum. And remember that vacation thing, resort thing, they said, come to Tulum.